Handling relationships on Earth. Those who are seeking enlightenment and spiritual growth know the importance of relationships. All relationships are important, and all have their place in our lives. It is not just romantic relationships that provide us with spiritual growth opportunities. Every single relationship we encounter has the potential to teach us something about ourselves if we are open and willing to reflect on them. Spending time in solitude is a must that greatly enhances spiritual development, but the same is true when interacting with other people. Solitude makes it possible for us to form a clear picture of who we truly are, but it is only through our interpersonal connections that we can become aware of how other people see us. They serve as our mirrors. When you look at yourself in a mirror, you will only ever see your own reflection. But when you look at yourself through the eyes of someone else, you get a glimpse into what others perceive your presence to be like. It is important not to obsess too much over any one particular relationship in your life and ignore all the rest. Seeking enlightenment means being open to learning lessons from everyone and anyone, including family members and friends, as well as romantic partners or even strangers. The more difficult it seems to maintain certain relationships, like, for example, those with family members who worship the Matrix, the more important it becomes to develop more compassion, more patience, etc. in order to allow the self to grow and evolve. The exception here is toxic and abusive relationships. Within these lies the lesson of self-love, honoring the self enough to remove the self from any toxic environment or relationship. But there are those who are annoying, not enlightened enough, or simply complete sleepwalkers. If a person triggers you, you know where you have to heal. Living a full hermit lifestyle would close you off from these blessed lessons. When things go wrong in our lives, we have a choice to make: give up or fight back and try again until we get the outcome we desire. When it comes to relationships, most people stay in relationships too long because they struggle to envision their lives without that other person. They think, if I leave them, I will be alone, or I love them so much that I can't live without them. Yet they are miserable in the relationship. If you are not at peace and happy being with that person, then how is this beneficial for either of you? You both deserve to be happy, and if one of you isn't, then it is time for some changes. The first change needs to come from within yourself. Can you accept responsibility for your part in the failure of the relationship? If not, then it will never work out between you two or between you and a new person. Accepting responsibility means taking stock of your actions, being honest about what has happened, even if it hurts, and moving forward with positive steps towards your goal. It also means taking full responsibility for your emotions instead of blaming someone else when something goes wrong, which brings us to our next point. Experience is more valuable than knowledge. The Ascended Masters have so much knowledge to impart, but it's only helpful if you take action and learn from your experiences. You can read all the books in the world on relationships, but there is no substitute for experience. Over time, we all gain a great deal of knowledge about what works and what doesn't work when dealing with others. But this knowledge has little value if we don't use it to change our behaviors and reactions. If you don't take action on the information you acquire, it will remain an abstract concept that has little impact on your actual experience of life. It doesn't matter how much information you have if you aren't utilizing it to negotiate your reality more effectively. Many people also think they can learn all they need to know about spirituality and relationships through books or lectures. That does not work so well either. Everything we learn must be applied in our lives into ourselves. And to do that, we must put what we have learned into practice and see how it works out for us. If you don't take action, all those concepts will remain just that, concepts, theories, and ideas that have no place in your life. Knowledge is useless if it is not put into action. You've heard the old saying, knowledge is power. That's true only if it's used. It's a tool only when it's used. Knowledge is simply a means to an end. All of our knowledge will be wasted if we are not willing to apply it to our lives. Sometimes it takes many years of practice before we actually understand the principles being taught. Everyone has a unique way of learning spiritual principles, but if you do not put them into action, you will never know if they are right for you or not. Always remember that no one can tell you how something should feel or when it is right for your life. You have been given free will and the ability to choose what works best for you according to your own truths within yourself. It is important that you allow yourself to test things out while staying open-minded enough to adjust what needs adjusting as situations change and evolve within your relationships with others and yourself as well. Learn from negative experiences in life. It is a misconception that we can avoid all negative experiences and still grow spiritually. It is through the very experience of opposites that we find true balance. In the same way that you could not possibly know what cold feels like until you have experienced heat, or vice versa, if you never allow yourself to go through negative experiences, you will never know what positive truly means. In order to gain complete spiritual enlightenment, we must have knowledge of both good and evil. We cannot grow spiritually without experiencing everything that this world has to offer us, whether it be good or bad. Remember, your ability to hold light is directly proportional to your willingness to look at the darkness. We love you dearly. We are the Galactic Federation. We are your family of light. We are here with you. Aho! This is a message to humanity from Aurora Ray, Ambassador of the Galactic Federation.